Okay, for today's video I am going to show you how to fold this model created and designed by Aldo Marcel, a great origami artist out of Nicaragua. And the name of this model is Sorpresas de Amor, which is Surprises of the Heart. And the reason for that name is that this center part of the heart comes out like a puzzle piece, where you could insert a gift, some money or what have you. Or you could also make the model by locking in this top part if you just want it to be just the standard kind of model here. This model is probably rated at somewhere of a high intermediate. It's not too difficult, you just have to make sure that your creases are sharp and make sure your creases are sharp and just follow closely, and it shouldn't be too difficult. And so this model is constructed using 4 pieces of rectangle paper, all the same size. The proportion I believe is 1 to 1.5 proportion. So this one was made with 4 sheets of 6" by 9" paper. I'm using kind of your standard, well, I guess this is kind of like a scrapbook paper. So that being said, we'll get started on this model, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please leave comments below and subscribe, hit the notification button, and we'll be making videos for more models. Okay, this first one is going to be for this top part of the heart. Start by folding over here. And just making a pinch down here. Do the same on this side. Okay, step 2, we're going to turn this over and we're going to make a fold using these 2 ends of the crease here as the folding marks. So it doesn't really matter what side of the paper you do this on. I like to take a ruler and kind of make a fold there. And you're going to cut basically straight across there. This is the only part of the model that's going to take that cut. Okay, now with these 2 pieces, you're going to set this piece aside. This is going to be used later in the model. And now with the colored side of the paper up, we're going to fold this over and make a pinch mark on the top and the bottom. Now, after making the pinch marks, we're going to turn this over. We're going to fold these edges up to where those 2 pinch marks you just made. I want to get this nice and straight here. Now we're going to take and open one side of this and bring this edge over to this edge here. Open that back up. Fold this back in. We're going to put this around, and we're going to do the same to this side. Open this model up. Turn the paper over and make it mount and crease. Now we're going to make a crease from the corner of this first folded line here up to this second line to meet right there. In order to do that, you can bring this line over, this corner over, make sure that it lines up properly with this one right there, and you're only going to fold for that one space right there in between, and you'll have a fold in between these two parallel lines here. Do the same on the other side. Now you should have two valley creases on each side over here in between. Now we're going to take this top edge and bring it down to the center line, center crease here. And we're going to make a fold across only the center part of these two middle lines, right there. Now we're going to take the top edge and fold it across on the crease you just made. This time making a complete crease. Turn this paper around. Repeat that same step again, bringing the center down to here, the middle, folding only across the center portion. Bring the top edge down to the last crease. Now, to make a fold across from these two points here, we're going to flip them all around. Open this top edge up. Bring this down, top edge down to the folded edge on the bottom here, and simply make a fold across that center part. Now you're going to make a valley fold across these two square sections. Across this section and this section here. In order to do that, you can just bring this edge over, fold it to this last line here as a reference point, and fold just that top square. And repeat the process on the other side. flip the paper around and repeat the same step on this side. Now we're going to collapse the model. Fold these two edges in. Fold the model in half. And using the crease patterns that are already here, we're going to fold this into a three-dimensional. It's a little tricky. Just like that. I hope that came out. I'm going to fold these edges into each other, locking down that crease. And there you have the top part of the heart completed. It's going to be this top part here. We're now going to take the next sheet of paper, and this is going to be for this middle piece that comes out like a puzzle piece here. So in this case I'm going to be using a piece that's just solid red. And start by making pinch marks on both sides. And using those pinch marks to go ahead and do a cupboard fold. Fold as close as possible here. Open one side, bring that edge over to the folded edge. Make a firm crease. Open that flap back up. Bring it back to the center. Flip the model around. Open the left side up. Once again, bring the edge to the folded edge. And crease. Now we're going to open this back up. We're going to set this piece aside for now and bring in the last rectangle for the bottom part of the model here. And we are going to repeat the same steps we just did for the middle part. So make a pinch crease mark on the top, the bottom. Flip the paper over and do another book fold to bring in those edges to the center pinches here. One side up and bring that side over to the folded edge. Make a crease. Open up, fold to the center. Turn the paper around and repeat. Open this side. Now you have both parts for the middle part of the heart, which in this case is going to be the red piece, and the bottom part of the heart, which is this colored piece here. We're going to open up the bottom piece here, or I'm sorry, the middle piece, and we're taking what's going to be the bottom part of the heart and bringing it to this edge here and lining it up. You want to line that up as close as you can. And holding that down, we're going to fold this edge, the middle piece, to the edge here. And make a nice firm crease. And open that up. Spin this around and repeat the same process on this side. Lining up that edge. Now, the next step is going to be taking the bottom part of the heart, opening that up. I'm going to use the V-shaped insert this time on top, bringing edge to edge, and this time we are folding this edge over and we are only going to crease on this top part here up to that folded line. Right there, just this top part. I'm going to repeat that the bottom. Creasing just that square. Open this up and repeat the same thing on this side. Bringing this edge to that edge as close as possible. Hold the paper down so it doesn't move. Bring this edge up to here. And creasing only on the top square here. And once again on the bottom. Now we're going to set aside this part for the middle insert and work on the bottom piece. So take this model, turn it over and fold in half. Open that back up. And continuing on, we are going to make a fold like we did on the first unit, going from this point here to this middle line here, right along there, on each of these areas here, something like going across there. And in order to do that, I'm going to take this top edge and bring it over, lining it up airplane fold style, increasing only on that center piece right there, and repeating on this side. Folding only on this center area, and you should have two folds just like that. Okay, continuing on, we're going to make a fold from this top edge to these two pinch marks, or these two folds in the corner we made previously. It's a little hard for me to see because of my camera being in the way, but I'm going to try to get this crease as close as possible here. And we're going to make a complete crease all the way across. And we are going to repeat on this side. Just like that. Okay, moving along now. In order to get a crease from the top of this fold to this point here on this fold to this fold right here, we are going to take and keep this bottom part folded. We're going to open this top part here, and we're going to bring it down to the edge, lining it up with a folded edge here, and again creasing only in the center part, right along here, just like that, in between these middle creases there. Okay, now we are going to make a fold across this square here, this little middle square here. And in order to do that, we're going to just basically take this folded edge and bring it down to this crease and fold only in that square, in that little square right here. And we're going to repeat on this little square area here, folding only in this little square. Just like that. Now we're going to repeat the same step on the other side, flipping the paper over, bring that crease on both sides here. Now we're going to make a couple pre-creases for the collapse of this model, and those pre-creases were going to be mountain folds across these little folds here, across this fold here, this fold here, and the same down here, down there. So we're going to do a mountain pinch here, mountain pinch there, mountain pinch here, pinch there, and across that little intersection, as you can see there. Just like that. We're now going to continue in the collapse of this bottom piece of the heart here, starting by bringing the sides to the center here in the cupboard fold. Folding it in half. You can kind of reaffirm this crease a little bit here. And as you can see, this collapse, this 3D collapse here is just bringing this top part up to where these creases are there, and it can be a little tricky and just pushing the edges together here, and the model will just come into place. Make sure that, start this over again here, make sure that these papers overlap, and insert the top part into the bottom, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter what side you do it on. And I'm going to back this off a little bit here. And there you have the bottom part. Bottom V-shaped part for your heart. Okay, now we are going to continue on the middle part of the heart using this red piece here, and we're gonna continue on by making the hinge in the center part of this model again, as we did like in the last piece. So we're going to start by turning the model over, turning the paper over and folding in half. Make a solid crease. Open that back up. Flipping the paper over, and now once again we are going to make a fold from the outer line, folded line here, to the parallel line right next to it. So I'm making a fold. I'm going to zoom in a little bit for this so that you can see it more clearly. I'm going to be making a fold from this corner in the center of the first line to the middle up here. And we're also going to do the same again on this side over here. And once those two folds are completed, we are going to make a fold connecting these 2 points across here. Okay. And to get that started, we are going to take the top edge, fold it over to the right edge, and we are going to make a crease only between these two lines here, just like that, and repeating on the other side. Making that crease only between this section here, just like that. And now, continuing forward here, we will move on with the rest of this model. For this next step, we're going to take the top and bottom edges of the model, or the paper, and bring it down to the previous crease. I'm going to change the paper around so I can see what I'm doing here, because the camera is right in the way here. Do a full crease across there. Do the same on the other side of the paper. The lighting is horrible here. I'm trying to get together here. Should be good, I think, here. Something like that. And once again, in order to get the crease from this crease to that crease in the center area, we're going to open up the top portion of the paper here. I'm going to bring it down to this folded edge. And again, we are going to only crease in between those two creases in the center of the paper. Just like that. Now the next step is going to be folding one of these edges to the center here. I'm going to redo this folder. Actually, you could just do a book fold and unfold this side. And using this side as a reference here, we're going to make a fold, a diagonal fold, mountain fold across this area here. Do that by bringing this over, increasing just on that square, only on the square right there. Do the same thing on the other side. Bring this up to the folded edge for reference here, folding only on that top section, just like that. Going to repeat that process on the other side, doing the same exact thing by folding this edge in. Bringing this down to this area, only on that corner right there. Flip around and repeat on this side. And there you have it so far. The next step, you're going to turn this paper over, and we are going to be making a valley fold from this corner of this square in the center to the top of it, right about there. And this fold will be parallel to the fold next to it there. So we're going to do the same for this square here, folding this one over. We're going to repeat this on the other side. Again, from this corner to this corner. Creasing only on that square. And repeat on that side. Okay, we are now ready to continue on by collapsing the center part of the heart here, and we're going to start that by bringing these folds into the center here, the cover fold, turning the model over, folding in half. I'm going to try to make this as clear as possible, because I know it might be kind of hard to see on camera, but as you can see, you already can see kind of a 3D shape here in the center of the model where we made these folds for the hinges. And we're going to be bringing both of these ends, squeezing these ends together. It doesn't really matter what side you use. And when we do this, this is going to pop into a 3D shape, as you can see, just like that. And once again, like on the other unit we did, we're going to interlock the top and the bottom. So we're going to insert the top part and insert the other side. And if you did everything well, you should have this center part here just like that. And as you can see, you have these two with the folds you did on the top. If you pull this top part down, this collapses, and this is the collapsing part of the secret compartment of the heart there. And you could kind of pre-fold that, and then you have your center part of the heart completed. Okay, now that we have this last part of the heart completed, you can see that we basically have all three pieces here. And as you can see, this middle piece here has some folds that we had folded earlier. And this middle part here, we're going to pull that forward. As you can see, that collapses just like that. And the same on this side, just like that. So you have these two folds now. If it's your preference, you can keep this part folded like this here as a gift box style. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Because in this one, I have these pieces locked in. If you wanted to use the heart as a gift box, you could leave the model folded like this and fold those edges in, and put your gift inside here, fold the edges in, and insert that into the model. And I'll kind of show you what that looks like here. So if you put a gift in there, you could just insert it like that, which is really nice. But in order to have it closed like this design, you would just basically introduce this point into here. I'm not going to do that, but you would basically just roll that point into here to lock it in. But in this case, I'm going to leave it open like that. Now for the connector piece, we're going to take the piece that we cut off from the very first module that we made, and we are going to fold that in half and make a pinch mark there on each side. The model over, paper over, and bring that in airplane fold style to the center. Now we're going to take this bottom edge and bring it up to these folded edges, leaving a small gap, maybe about 1 millimeter big. Make a sharp crease. Now we're going to open this up and fold in half. Open that back up again. Okay, the next step is going to be cutting this paper in half. So I'm going to show you how I do that. I use a paper cutter, but you could rip it or cut it any way you like. I like to use a paper cutter. Sometimes it's a bit more precise. And now we have our two connecting pieces. Okay, the next step in this model, now that we have all the components here, is going to be taking these strips here and inserting into the top part of the heart here and using the pre-folded clamps to lock that down. Now, as you can see, for these connector strips, we have a short part on top here and a longer part on bottom. We're going to take the short end here, and we're going to insert it into the bottom part of this heart here, and we're going to slide it up right up into the edge where it meets there and collapse this pre-folded area down to lock that into place. Hope that's clear. You can kind of pull the sides out a little and bring it just like that. I'm going to repeat the same process, taking the short side here, inserting it to the bottom here. Now, if you have a hard time getting this through to the bottom part, you can take and fold a little bit of this edge in and just insert it just like that. Again, collapsing the folds that we pre-folded earlier. And you now have the top part of this heart with the connector pieces on there. You can see the connector pieces there. Okay, continuing on with the final parts of this model, we are now going to connect these connector flaps to the bottom part of this heart, and pretty much the same way we did it on the top part. So we're going to insert this into the bottom here and slide this all the way up to where it meets this connection piece right here. And again, collapsing the bottom. Just like that to interlock that model down. You could just rest this on the bottom here and then insert the connector piece all the way in to where it's flush with the fold there, and lock it into place using these pre-folded collapsing folds here. And your model should look something like this, and we're going to continue on by opening this up and inserting the gift box part of this model into the middle here. Can be a little bit tight. Just got to kind of wiggle it in there, and should go right in there like a puzzle piece, just like that. And now on this next part of the video, we're going to continue on by using the last rectangle to make the stand to stand the heart on. Okay, now we're going to continue on by making the stand for the Origami 3D heart. We're going to start that by taking the last rectangle. This is my camera here. Taking this last rectangle, starting by folding in half. Bring that back up. Do a covered fold to the center. now going to open the model back up and make a airplane type crease to the center line here. And repeat on the other side. Okay, now we're going to spin this model around, and we are going to fold this edge up to the two edges here. Nice firm crease. Open that back up, and now bring this edge down to that crease. Alright, now we're going to open these flaps back up. And the model should look something like that. Now we're going to spin this paper over and bring this top edge down to the folded edge here. Like that. Now we're going to open this back up, and now we are going to be making a crease in this square here, going here, and a crease on this square to that. So basically turning these two squares into X's. Now we're going to take this bottom edge, fold it up one more time along the previous crease here. Spin the paper around. Now, as you can see, you have a line here, a line here, and a line in the middle. And what we are going to do is make a fold, a mountain fold, from this corner in the middle to this corner up here. So basically we're making a mountain fold across there. And we're also going to do the same on the other side, from there to there. Now we're going to spin this paper around, and we are going to make a fold across here on the top part. You can see this line right here. I'm going to fold from there just down to the top part, only up to the line there. And you're going to do the same on this side. Bring this down. Just like that. Okay, now we're going to take this model and fold it in half. And we are going to take this raw edge and bring it down, folding up to that crease, folding only up to this crease on top here, just like that. Okay, once you have those folds in place, you can go ahead and open this model back up, and as you can see, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, but you have these diamond shaped creases here that come together, and you're basically going to fold, as you can see, like this, pinch it in each side like that. And when you flip the model over here, you're going to have this kite shape, and you're going to fold this into your frog base by bringing those corners in and bringing it down, and just like that. And the next step is going to be taking the point here and folding that up. Okay, now we're going to fold this model back in half again here. Bring this edge down. Reaffirm this crease right here. Model over. And do the same thing on this side. We're now going to assemble this into a 3D base by bringing this two pieces together here, these two sides together to form a pyramid in the center. See if that's on camera. You're bringing this edge over to create a little pyramid shape right there in the top. Again, I hope you can see how that comes together. It's a little tricky, just like that. All over here, as you can see, we have this pyramid base here, and the next step is going to be bringing these sides together, which wrap together here. And we are going to interlock those two pieces together. Alright, now the next step is going to be taking this crease you have here on the bottom and folding that entire piece in. As you can see, it's a little bit tricky. We're going to fold the top part in to lock it down. And just continue to bring this part down where those creases are, and that should lock the model into place for your base here. See, this one went a little bit high, but and you should have a nice base for your heart. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please subscribe, smash the notification button, and the like button, and we will see you back again very soon. Bye bye.